Today we're talking about Nintendo because they just released a statement that is so stupid. It's so outlandish.
You want to know something that's also outlandish? Is the fact that you bashed this platform for 2 months and yet you still picked it up.
I truly don't even understand it, but they have announced they're increasing the
I don't understand it either.
price of the Nintendo Switch 1.
Ha ha.
Every version of it, OLED, non-OLED.
Oh, y'all gonna get a Switch 2 regardless. You thought Nintendo was gonna allow you to play on Switch 1? That's what you fools thought. That's what y'all thought. They're like, if you ain't got a Switch 1 by now, we're gonna raise it up. We're gonna charge $3.99 for the Switch 1. Well, why would I pay that if I could just go get the Switch 2? I told you that they were gonna use the old devices. Actually, I have, to essentially gauge the interest with the new platform. There was nothing going down here. Sony's doing it. Microsoft's doing it by raising the price of their platforms. PlayStation will be proceeding to do the same so they can incentivize the next platform. I'm telling you, PlayStation Pro, they ain't dropping no prices on that thing. They want it priced at $800. So when the precious PlayStation 6 comes out at $1,000 to $1,200, whatever, $1,500, $1,300, then you're going to be like, why would I pay $800 for this if I could just go buy the PlayStation 6? Companies are starting to realize that, no, you guys ain't waiting for no more price drops anymore. We're starting to get it.
But they also said they're jacking up the price of controllers,
of
digital and physical games. This truly boggles the mind. And I have to admit that I'm incredibly frustrated because this is the kind of stuff I think...
Frustrated about what? You supported it. I find it so funny that you gamers want to keep telling people about your frustrations, but yet you guys continue to keep supporting the things that you're frustrated about. Well, maybe you should return to Switch 2 right now because ain't nothing changing. You people are complaining about things that you single-handedly purchased, knowing, oh, it was a mistake. We accidentally voted with our wallet and didn't realize. No. You knew the actions that you was doing. Now take accountability for what's happening. Now, mind you, you're not the only person that did it. But for all the people that say, it's not a big deal, who cares? Why does anybody matter? Or worry about these situations are the same people complaining about it when it gets worse. That's hypocrisy at its finest.
Going to kill gaming. More than anything else, it's just this ridiculous, rampant corporate greed. How the hell is this not $100 right now? Why are they about to make this thing $400?
Ha ha.
Let's talk about it.
It's to make the Switch 2 look more appealing. You guys like, well, then if that's the case, then what? Why would they keep the price lower? Now, I'm not justifying. I'm just saying you got to look at it from a business perspective. If you price that to $400, like as to what he's talking about, and you look at the Switch 2 that's $450, what do you think people are more likely going to buy? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. They're going to rather spend the $50 to get the Switch 2 instead, especially if it's backwards compatibility. It's like what Microsoft is doing with Outer Worlds 2 by charging $80. It only is going to make Game Pass Ultimate look more appealing because they know that people are not going to want to spend $80 on these games. I'm telling you, have you noticed that the closer we get to GTA 6 release date, we're getting closer and closer to that $100 margin? Microsoft doesn't care. And this is why I try to tell you, why do you guys keep thinking that these companies have your best interest? Because they don't. All they want to do is keep milking money out of your pockets. Hopefully this is it's not a wake-up call. What am I saying?
Take a look at their stupid excuses. And I want to just explain to you why this is measurably going to damage gaming.
Well, I mean, you should have thought of that before you picked up the Switch 2 and talked poorly about it for 2 months, and look how long that lasted. Let's see the next anti-consumer device that he decides to purchase and claim that, oh, it was a mistake. I didn't know we was buying into all this. And you can't even use that excuse because ain't none of you guys are casuals. I don't think he would classify himself as a casual gamer. So you can't use that excuse for yourself.
They're blaming it on market conditions have changed, so therefore we have to increase the price of the OLED, non-OLED, the Switch Lite, physical and digital games, accessories, amiibo, even NSO memberships. This is the biggest reason I do.
Because they knew y'all weren't going to buy the Switch 2. They knew that there's a few gamers out there that took a stance. I was one of them. And I already have 5 Switches, so this doesn't really matter to me. So they knew For all the people that would go buy the Switch 1 instead of the Switch 2, they're like, raise the price of the Switch 1 so it can inherently force the people that don't want to buy the Switch 2 at launch to buy one anyways. Because if you raise the price of the OLED to $400, people are going to look at the Switch 2 and say it's more powerful, it has backwards compatibility. I might as well this is Nintendo's way of forcing you guys to abandon the Switch 1. That's literally it.
Not at all believe.
So all that talk of Doug Bowser, well, if you don't like it, go get a Switch 1. This is what he meant with all this. He's trying to say you're gonna be paying up regardless. If you want to pay $100 because you got some console warrior pride about all this, well, it don't matter because you're still gonna give us $300 or $400 for that old ass hardware.
This is just some market conditions. If it's digital or physical or NSO memberships, this digital only stuff, this isn't being shipped. This isn't being put on boats. It's not being flown across the sea. This is literally, in my opinion, maybe somebody can explain the math. This feels like they're just going, we can afford to rip you off a bit more, so we're going to do it. We know that you piggies will eat up the slop.
Yeah, just like you piggies ate it up when the Switch 2 launched. And the funny thing is about that, you're one of those piggies.
And part of my frustration, there's like
What are you frustrated about? You bought into the idea. I should be frustrated with you. What do you mean? I know we've heard the topics of that. There's a lot of fatigue in the gaming community. And yes, there is fatigue. There's even fatigue about these things that you guys keep doing in our great community with this fake FOMO stuff that you guys went out there and single-handedly purchased. And all of a sudden you want to come on YouTube and complain about it. And they say it's not my fault, it's everybody else's fault. You guys went on a whole bandwagon telling people not to buy this damn thing just for you people to go out there and buy it.
Layers to this. It's that, honestly, games used to get cheaper, obviously, right? But it's also the fact that right now, there is no Nintendo Switch 2 games. There's a couple, like, oh great, I can buy a $110 copy of Mario Kart World. That's how much it costs in Canada. They're saying that this is now about to be even more expensive. Like, how the heck?
Yep, Game Pass ain't looking too bad after all. GameStop with another W. Remember when I told you guys that Game Pass structure that Microsoft is putting out there? As time goes on and gaming becomes expensive, Game Pass or renting your games is going to be much more of an appealing option. I've said that. Now, you can disagree or agree with it, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm saying is true. Now that I've told you, what are you going to do as a smart consumer to combat this? Oh, that's right. Pick up the next Nintendo Switch, too.
But also, let's just acknowledge the fact that this is a new era of greed. Like, people act like, oh, a lot of Switch games never really went on sale. That was the first generation where games didn't get cheaper. With everything else, the GameCube...
They didn't, because I don't remember Nintendo even doing a Nintendo Select. Matter of fact, people was out here paying $60 for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze when I said it should have had the first game. And then they did it again with Donkey Kong Returns. Like, come on, man. Y'all want to sit there and act like this is new news? It's not. You guys supported paying $60 for these ports. And then when Xbox gives it to you for free, you're like, oh, they're anti-consumer, they're a bad company. While y'all here paying $10, $20 upgrades on PlayStation and Nintendo.
The Game Boy, the GBA, all the other generations, not only would the console get cheaper with time, but so would the games. Nintendo is one of the first people I ever saw that basically, when a game sold a couple of million copies, they were like, okay, we've made our money back tenfold.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it even with the Wii U, with Wind Waker HD, and all these other games. Like, I mean, it was crazy. You paid $20 for the Switch, for the Wii U version of Tropical Freeze because it was a Nintendo Select title. Maybe because Nintendo was trying everything to sell the games because the Wii U was a failure. But when the Switch came out, Tropical Freeze was $60. And ain't none of you Nintendo dudes was calling out. I know I was calling out. But y'all weren't.
Funded future development. Let's make the games cheap as hell. They used to sell games, the Nintendo Selects, for $20 a pop and do pack-ins all the time.
Even with the 3DS.
Bundled software. And this did something incredibly important. It got new people into the ecosystem.
But you see, what you don't understand, that they realize that you people are stupid and you're going to buy their stuff regardless. This is why they're doing it to you. So when you guys sit there and say, oh, it's my money, I do what I want, well, then don't complain. You know, now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Now you did what you want. Now you complaining about this. Like what? Stop it. Seriously, seek help. I feel like the Michael Jordan, right? Seek help. Stop it. Seek help.
You truly cannot put a price on that. Part of what makes, Metroid Prime 2 sell so good is Metroid Prime 1 getting so popular, right? The original Metroid Prime, that came out, it was pretty popular.
They realized that there's a bunch of dummies. Like when you guys said that, oh, a 2D Mario game could cost $60, and I told people it should be $30, you guys are advocating for this stuff. Oh, it's a good quality game. A genre shouldn't be done. I go based off the money that's being put into it. Because the budget of the game is reflective of how much the game should cost, in my personal opinion. I mean, if you put, let's say, a GTA situation, 3-point-something billion into your game, you're going to want to be able to compensate for that. You can't expect your brand, that game is crazy because their brand loyalty is crazy amongst their fan base. But I'm saying in regards to everybody else, Nintendo looked at it as a marketing strategy to make more money and to milk their fans out of the same games they've already purchased.
And then they put it on Nintendo Selects. A ton more people buy it. Oh man, this is so discounted. A $20 first-person space shooter.
Remember when I told you guys that the discount gamer, you are going to be the one that's being impacted, and it's exactly what's happening.
And accessories for the Nintendo Switch 1. Nintendo Switch 1 Pro controllers and stuff work on the Switch 2. I 100% believe they're doing this just to screw people over. Oh, you want to buy this? Well, now
it's not about screwing people. So you see, it's funny when you say that. It is, but it ain't. Because I'm going to explain as to what you're saying, because you're not doing a good job at explaining it. This is why people come to my channel and be like, thank you, GameStar. I thought that's exactly what I thought. The reason why they doing it, because they know y'all don't want this Switch 2. This is their way of gauging the interest in buying that platform. Do you get what I'm saying? If you raise the price, I mean, they do this in phones all the time. If you keep the price very similarly to the latest model, and the one that you're trying to sell is new, people are going to look at, why would I pay $400 for a Switch OLED model when I can get the real machine for $450? Do you get what I'm saying? With backwards compatibility, even though some of the games don't work, but still, that's the idea of it. I knew this was going to happen when Microsoft raised the price of their own consoles. I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Because whatever that they're preparing in the inevitable future, it's to help gauge the interest of the next platform. Why would I want to spend $800 on a Pro if, let's say, the PS6 is $1,000? I'll spend $200 more to get that. It's to appease. It's sad, but it's to artificially increase the value of the platform just due to the high prices of the old models.
$20 more expensive. Oh, the controllers have to be double the price. This, to me, really is unprecedented. This is a level of greed and ignorance. And I'm sure some people are talking about,
well, you should have thought of that before you bought the Switch 2. You reap what you sow.
You see, I remember when if you got a new system, the old system would get
that was back in the days. Nobody cares, bro. These companies have realized that. You guys are now upset because they're combating that strategy, and this is what's going on.
Deep discount. This is totally true. Whenever the PlayStation 2 came out, the PlayStation 1 got a severe price cut because they're like, hey, we
greatest hits.
Want you to jump into the generation, but also it makes it where we can.
No, but they also didn't think consumers were that dumb either. That's why they did it. That's why we benefited. Because we weren't stupid consumers. Now these companies like, oh, these people are dumb. They're going to pay $60 for the same Mario Kart, the same Donkey Kong. They're stupid like that. They're justifying it on the internet. Just do it. And they realize you people buy into it.
This old stock, it's easy money. Here's all the previous stuff to get you excited about it, especially that somehow that's connected. I guess maybe somebody in the comments could explain it, but I guess I don't understand how the tariffs America is putting on Canada is going to affect game consoles coming in from Japan. Even if it goes on sale, we make sure that we're getting a big, juicy, profitable cut. And I still feel like there is no way this thing, which cost $350, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever the OLED came out, you cannot convince me that this thing now needs to go up in price. Nothing in the world can convince me you need to make this more expensive. I truly think every Nintendo Switch 1 console should have a $100 discount right now today. Right now.
Why do that? Why do that? Now, I'm not disagreeing. I agree with that statement. But why do that? You're going to buy it anyway. You didn't hear what Doug Bowser said? If you don't like the Switch 2, buy the Switch 1. So, like I said, they know who they're targeting when they say these things. Y'all just didn't think they were going to raise the price up. I mean, it really should be dropped in price. It really should. And this is a problem that's actually impacting console gaming. It really is, bro, because like I've said, or like people have stated, that consoles used to go down in value. Now they're not doing that anymore.
Just dramatic cuts of the price. Straight off the top. Make the games, I think...
Why would they do that? Because all that... If they do that... See, you're not understanding. This is why I can't stand Fanboys, because you don't understand how this actually works. Why would they drop the price for you when they're trying to sell the Switch 2? Them keeping the price at $400 is only going to make people upgrade to the Switch 2. Because you're putting the value... Now, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just telling you what they're doing. They're keeping the value of the systems the similar, so you can sit there and say, oh, well, I might as well just buy the Switch 2 instead. Why would I spend $400 on a Switch OLED? It's only $50 more, no less. Let me buy it automatically with no thinking process. That is the idea.
Game should be 20% cheaper.
And if you want to boycott the idea by buying a Switch 1 instead, well, you're dumb. Because at that point, even if I told you guys I wasn't going to get the Switch 2, I would rather buy the Switch 2 if I didn't have one than the Switch 1. Okay?
Single game. I think all the games that are $60 should go down to like $45. Every single game. At this point, it's all raw profit. Are you guys...
Oh, companies caring about their consumers. Bandito.
Really that upset about less profit? This is super stupid. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below.
Bandito, he thought they cared about you. Poor little Nintendo getting rich off all you fools. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, bro, you guys bought into this. Now you have to accept it. Take care. Peace out.